Hi, it's Lucy, and today I'm here to do a video on the highest rated books that I've read that are on Goodreads. I saw Emma from Drinking by My Shelf do a video like this, and she got the idea from Leanne Rose, so I'm going to link both their videos down below, and yeah, we're going to talk about the books that I read that are rated the highest on Goodreads. Of all the books that I've read, these are the ones that are rated the highest on Goodreads. That's what this means. I feel like it's unclear. I don't know why I feel like it's unclear. So I have Goodreads open. This is kind of off the cuff, and I'm sorting by average rating. And I'm gonna do, I think, the top 10. Some of these will probably be series. Like if 2 books in the same series come up, then I'll just do the first one that comes up. So the first book that comes up is Dancing at the Pity Party by Tyler Fetter. This has a 4.71 rating, and it has 525 ratings, which I think is pretty good, especially considering that this book literally came out a month ago, which might also be why it has such a good rating. And I reviewed it in my April wrap-up, I believe, or my March wrap-up. I don't remember now. One of the 2 wrap-ups, I'll link whichever one it is in the cards. And I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars, so not quite as high as the average rating. This is Tyler Fetter's memoir about her dealing with her mom dying of cancer when she was a sophomore in college, and I thought it was really good. It had a really good balance of humor and like seriousness and actually dealing with her grief, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Next we have Gravity Falls Journal 3, which is written by Alex Hirsch, Rob Renzetti, and illustrated by Andy Gonzalez and Stephanie Ramirez. So this, I don't know, I feel like it kind of doesn't count because like it's very obvious why it has a high rating. This has a 4.69 out of 5 stars, and it has 3,663 ratings. And I think the reason this has such a high like Goodreads rating is because it is a book based off of a TV show, but not the story of the TV show. If you have not watched Gravity Falls, it is basically like a paranormal cartoon where these 2 kids go and stay with their great uncle in this weird town in, I want to say Oregon. And yeah, they notice a bunch of supernatural things happening, and they're trying to figure out what's going on in the town. And one of the things that comes up is this journal that they are constantly referencing throughout the show. And so they made the journal a real book for people to buy and read. I own it. I think it's at my parents' house, so I don't have it right now. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a really good supplement to the show, but obviously most people who have read this are people who are fans of the show and were likely to enjoy it. I'm super sorry, my cat is, I don't know what he's doing. If you like Gravity Falls, or if you had never heard of Gravity Falls until I said that, you should definitely check out the show. It's really cute. If you don't like cartoons, then you should like cartoons because you're never too old for cartoons. Oh, and I think I said I gave it 4 stars. Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Once again, this is not a surprise to me. This has a 4.6 star rating out of 5 stars. And it has 164,480 ratings. Lots of ratings. This is the second book in a duology, which automatically tends to give books higher ratings because the people who read the next book in a series tend to have already enjoyed the first book in the series and already enjoy that world or whatever. And I am one of those people who loves it. I gave this book 5 stars, so I'm above the average rating. There's no way I'm gonna meet the average rating because Goodreads doesn't let you do half stars or any kind of decimal point of stars. So I mean, they're going to be above or below it because there's probably not one that has exactly 4 stars or exactly 5 stars on this list. I mean, there's definitely not, because I'm going from top to bottom, like highest rated to lowest rated. So the first one wasn't 5 stars. So yeah, like I said, this is the second book in the Six of Crows duology. I can't really tell you what it's about, but if you've been on my channel for like any amount of time, you've already heard me talk about this book. Next, we have Obsidium by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the 3rd book in the Illuminae Files trilogy, which was one of my favorite trilogies. I loved the first book. The second book disappointed me, and this book I thought was just okay. It wasn't as disappointing as the second book, but I didn't think it was as good as the first book by any means. So this book has a 4.53 star rating. It has 31,693 ratings on Goodreads. Once again, this falls under a later book in a series, so people who have already read the first few books in the series are more bound to like the next books in the series because they've chosen to pick it up. I ended up giving this 4 stars. If you watched my original review in whatever wrap-up I did for that, I probably said 4.5 stars, but I downgraded it to 4 stars, and then I think I did a series review for this series, and I said 4 stars again, but I don't know. I think The issue I had with this is even though I enjoyed it, I felt like since I liked it better than Gemina, which I gave 4 stars because I didn't know how to deal with my feelings, which I'm now realizing, I felt like I had to give it a higher rating than Gemina because I liked it better than Gemina. But I really should have just downgraded Gemina to like 3 stars, and this would have been 3.5 stars. But yeah, I don't know, my ratings really just always change all the time, I guess. Maybe you can't trust my ratings, and then my whole channel is a failure. But let's not deal with that existential crisis. Like I said, this is the 3rd book in the Illuminate Files trilogy. This is a trilogy. You've probably seen it everywhere. It's pretty well known and well liked on BookTube. This is a sci-fi series set very far in the future. And in the 1st book, we are on this planet, moon, asteroid. I don't really remember what it is, but we follow these 2 kids who are on the planet. They're dating, and then they break up, and the next day their planet is attacked, and they end up in this huge conspiracy, and they have to like escape and try and find help, and it's really hard for them because of reasons, and we're just following that. All the books are in mixed media. The audiobooks are really done well as well. Next we have Saga Volume 2. I just want to point out that Saga Volume 3 was right under it. Volume 2 has 4.54 stars and Volume 3 has 4.53 stars. So that's something. But Volume 2 is the one we're going to be talking about. Really, I'm going to be talking about the whole series. But yeah, this one has 86,194 ratings on Goodreads. This is, once again, a very well-liked series on BookTube and obviously in the world. This is the 2nd installment in a sci-fi graphic novel series. It's basically Romeo and Juliet in space, is how people describe it. There's this war going on between 2 different species, and it ends up taking over the whole galaxy, with other like planets and species taking one of the 2 sides. And these 2 people from opposite sides of the war end up falling in love and having a baby, and this is their story narrated by the baby. And we see some other characters, we see the bad guys, we see the main characters, we see the people that they end up meeting on their journey of just trying to have a family. The Hate You Give by Andrew Thomas, once again, not very unexpected. This has 4.51 stars and 423,206 ratings. This took the world by storm, really. So very unexpected. I ended up giving it 5 stars. I really love this book. I really like Angie Thomas as a writer. I enjoyed her 2nd book as well. I don't know if it'll come up on this list yet, but we'll see. But if you don't know what The Hate You Give is about, I don't know what to tell you at this point. This is about 16-year-old Star, who is trying to balance the 2 worlds she belongs to, where she lives in a poorer neighborhood but goes to school in a more affluent area, and she has to balance being in these 2 worlds. But then she ends up witnessing her friend's murder by the hands of police, and it takes a lot of things from the Black Lives Matter movement, and she has to deal with everything that happens after that, seeing like the true colors of people that she knows and the way other people end up talking about her friend who was murdered, and we just follow her story. This one is kind of surprising and is a book that nobody has ever heard of, but I read it for school. The book is Under a Watchful Eye by Harry Walker. This has 4.5 stars, but it has 4 ratings, so that's why that is. I gave it 4 stars. I read it for school. It was pretty boring, pretty detailed, but it's actually like an interesting like topic. It's nonfiction, and it kind of examines or details the Urarina people, which are an Amazonian people that live in lowland Peru. It just goes over their culture and what the people are like. It's very detailed, so it was pretty boring to read, but it was very interesting as well because it's cool learning about a culture, especially one that you've never heard of, a type of culture that's not really focused on. They're obviously not uncontacted peoples because the author of this, I believe, lived with them for a while, but you learn about their culture and everything and how they're kind of dealing with the rest of the world as well, because they do like trade and everything, and it was really interesting. I don't think I would recommend it unless you had to read it for school. I read this for my social anthropology class. Born a Crime, Stories from a South African Childhood by Trevor Noah. Once again, very popular. All of my books are very popular. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. This is Trevor Noah's memoir about his childhood growing up in South Africa, as the title suggests, because Trevor Noah is mixed. He's half white, half black. His dad is white, his mom is black, and he was born during apartheid in South Africa, so when that kind of interracial relationship is illegal, so him existing was technically a crime. It's super interesting. I'm sure you've heard lots of other people recommend this book, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed this story. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. This has a 4.47 rating and has 6,694,396 ratings. So yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of ratings. I don't know what I expected, but 6 million? That's so many. And obviously more than 6 million people have read it, because that's not even a fraction of the population of the United States of America. Isn't that wild? You all know what Harry Potter is. Do I need to explain it to you? I gave it 5 stars. And the last book that I'm going to be talking about is Winter by Marissa Meyer. This has a 4.46 rating and 178,390 ratings. This is the last book in the Lunar Chronicles quartet, and once again, it falls under the people who didn't like the first book are not going to be around to lower the rating for the last book. So the people who end up by the last book have probably thoroughly enjoyed the series by this point, so it ends up with a higher rating. I gave this 4 stars because as a book, I thought it was fine. As a series ender, I thought it was fine. It wasn't anything groundbreaking for me. Yeah, those are the top 10 highest rated books that I've already read on Goodreads. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I don't know how interesting this was because a lot of the books were part of series and were really popular. So I wasn't really giving you guys like super new information or anything, or like underrated books. I guess I could just do a video on underrated books. Maybe I'll do a video on books that are low rated that I rated high if I can figure that out. We'll see what happens. I'm probably going to do the lowest rated books on my Goodreads Red shelf as well soon-ish. We'll see when that happens. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.